Hey Internet, for this video I'm going to show and test the Dell Inspiron 13 7000 2-in-1 laptop. 2-in-1 laptops are ones that can, for lack of a better term, transform into a tablet. For the most part, when you hear a laptop is 2-in-1, it just means the screen mechanism opens all the way back, producing a tablet. In my opinion, these type of laptops are the ones to get for new college students that can't afford a Mac. This laptop is good enough to play older games like CSGO and light enough to carry around campus all day without breaking your back. So let's take a look at the basic specs for this laptop. The Dell Inspiron 13 7000 2-in-1 laptop comes in various configurations, but my particular model has a 13.3-inch 1080p screen, an i7 6500U CPU, 8GB of DDR3L RAM, 256GB SSD hard drive, 2-in-1 media card reader, Windows 10, and weighs about 3 pounds. Priced at $700 new and $600 refurbished, this is a great deal for a modern laptop that doubles as a tablet. The CPU i7 6500U is not the 4-core 8-thread version you'd find on a desktop i7. It's actually a low-power dual-core processor that's almost as good as a desktop i3. If you wanted a true 4-core 8-thread i7, you'd need to purchase a more expensive gaming or workstation laptop. But the portability is lost, as some of those laptops are much larger and heavier, and they can sometimes be up to 10 pounds. As you can see from the Cinebench score, it is far from a desktop i7, but that doesn't mean it sucks. This processor is plenty fast. It just gives you some perspective between portable laptops' power versus desktop or specialized gaming laptops, as strictly gaming laptops usually are equipped with desktop-grade processors. Gaming laptops are often heavier and less portable, so if your schoolwork first, games second, then this laptop or others like it should be the first choice. 8GB of RAM is more than enough to handle basic tasks like web browsing, streaming, and light gaming. A 256GB SSD is also another nice inclusion in this laptop. The boot speed is increased dramatically with an SSD, and opening programs is much faster as well. I'm glad I got this version instead of a larger size mechanical drive. They essentially traded storage space for speed, and 256GB is still plenty of space, especially with many of us keeping things in thumb drives or the cloud these days. A 2-in-1 card reader. Never actually used this feature myself, but I'm glad it's there as opposed to it being not. The laptop runs Windows 10. I know some people don't like 10, but we might be forced into it anyways. Microsoft, I believe, will only support Windows 7 and 8.1 for a few more years before stopping completely. Windows updates may be annoying and can sometimes mess up functionality, but the security it adds is worth the minor annoyances. These specs are more than enough for everyday use and light gaming. And when I say light gaming, I mean older games, like CSGO, Diablo 3, World of Warcraft, just to name a few. Don't expect to run the newest Crysis on this. If that's your goal, get a gaming laptop, like a Sega or something. But be prepared for the wait. My buddy from college bought a gaming laptop just to play WoW back in the day. I forgot the brown name of it, but it weighed nearly 10 pounds. He left college with back problems. Now let's take a look at some neat physical aspects of the Dell Inspiron 13 2-in-1 laptop. The backlit keyboard in the dark. Older versions of the Inspiron 2-in-1 didn't have this feature. It makes typing in the dark possible, and looks pretty cool. The tablet mode allows you to either use the laptop as a literal tablet, or let it stand like you see here. You can completely control the laptop with just the touchscreen only. By far my favorite feature on this laptop is the inclusion of a stylus. I had the old version with an i3, and it didn't come with one. The stylus is surprisingly responsive, with my only complaint being that even with the stylus active, touching the screen with my hand still registers. That can be a little annoying when drawing. but it's still much better to write or draw with a stylus than using a finger. The touchpad isn't bad either. It's responsive and the screen is also touch, so if you're tired of using that, just click on the screen, literally. Now I'll run a 1080p video. Also, I forgot to mention the laptop feels premium, like polished plastic. I don't know how to describe it, but it doesn't feel cheap. No complaints of the keyboard, but with any laptop, prolonged typing on small keyboards can get uncomfortable. Runs smooth. Now I'll try a 4K video. The screen isn't 4K, but the computer will still try to play the video. So if there would have been any slowdowns to the 4K playback, you'd see it here despite the screen not being 4K. The video is going to stop a lot because my connection can't really handle 4K. I'll wait a bit so some parts of the video can be loaded. It plays a little choppy. Might be the connection. I played a 4K video before on this and it ran smooth. That's weird. Too bad I can't really test anything besides a YouTube stream since no optical drive. Internet browsing is smooth. Despite it being definitely heavier than a typical tablet, you won't really notice the weight if held like this. Plus, I personally like having one device doing my computing needs rather than carrying both a laptop and tablet. There's probably others that prefer it that way as well. I'd rather get this, as 2-in-1s are generally lighter than standard laptops. And that's it. Hope this video was useful. Thanks for watching.